I think I'm going to have to kind of have my glasses on. Otherwise, I'm going to be taking them on and off, and maybe I will do that, but we'll see.
Okay.
So this is really exciting to have you here because this is the first time I'm getting to have a conversation. And to start it off, I get to have a conversation with somebody that I love. So I want to introduce you to everybody. Kate Schlientz, who is a incredible food blogger, a writer, a fitness fan, and then also a fantastic graphic designer and tech girl. She's really like my go-to girl for really everything. So I'm so glad that you're here and that we get to talk about your food blog, IntoxiKate. So thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate everything that you say.
So part of having the conversations that I want to try to introduce to my community is about talking to people that love what they do. And I find that I resonate with really optimistic, happy people, and the common denominator is they kind of love what they do and they really love to talk about it and share it. So why don't you tell me a little bit about how you got to where you are?
Wow. Well, it kind of starts back pretty far, believe it or not. In sixth grade, my mother came home from work late and I decided to make dinner for her. Mm-hmm. So it all kind of started with a box of mac and cheese. Mm-hmm. And I made dinner for her, macaroni and cheese for dinner. And she was so excited when she came home and she was so just like relieved and, all these emotions. And I just thought that was a connection to food for me, like having that experience, having people be happy and have people have some kind of emotional reaction and connection to food and eating together. So ever since that day, I made dinner for my family. And, I was working for Women's World magazine for a while, and then I switched over to marketing. So I had my whole editorial background. I had my marketing background in both writing and design. And I was writing for a couple of publications about food. And I thought, there's some stories missing. And there's some stories I really wanted to tell in my own way. So I launched IntoxiKate and have been living deliciously, I should say, ever since.
So what are some of your favorite stories to tell? Like what I loved, you had a piece on, I love your play on words when you talked about the menu crave.
Oh, I love the menu crave. Well, I have to give my friend Meryl a little bit of props for that because she actually helped me come up with that title. We were actually in a restaurant, Fortina in Armonk, and we had heard a lot about this bartender who's very good looking, and he happened to come by and give us both drinks. And I think the moment just kind of hit us, and we were like, menu crave.
And the whole menu, right? So then they have a great menu too, which is awesome.
Right. But there are some of those restaurants out there where the food is great, the atmosphere is great, but you kind of go to see somebody and get that kind of extra special love. So I definitely wanted to feature people that were not necessarily chefs. We hear from chefs all the time, but the front end restaurant experience is a very important experience, and it's a very it's kind of a break or make experience when you're dining out. So I wanted to start featuring more people who were bartenders, wait staff, managers.
Right. I love that. I also see you always have a little bit of a philanthropic bend, which totally resonates with me, baking a little goodness into everything. And how you get some of these restaurants involved in some of the fundraising efforts for different causes. Anything you want to talk about that or share?
Yeah, so on May 19th, I'm involved in the Books and Cooks at the Greenberg Public Library, which is what they call a literary feast. They're combining some really great local authors and local restaurants for a really nice cocktail event. And for me, when I see restaurants participate in these kinds of charity events, I feel like, they should be getting something out of it, like kind of they're giving so much that I wanted to give something to them. So my kind of model is anytime I work with a charity, that is participating or needs restaurants to participate, the restaurants that I kind of reach out to, I always let them know, like, this is what I'm going to do for you for, providing this service or providing the food. So with the Books and Cooks, we're doing videos, a whole kind of marketing push for both the restaurants and the event. So the restaurants kind of feel like they're really getting out there.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I love that. That is probably why your food blog has been recognized this year, and you've gotten some great accolades. You want to talk a little bit about what you just heard? You got some good news.
I can't officially make the announcement until I believe July or late June, but I received a really, really positive, uplifting bit of news yesterday, so it made me feel really great.
Awesome. So let's go back a little bit, like when you were a kid and you're a writer. Did you keep a journal or a diary?
It's funny. I didn't keep a diary or a journal, but I always wrote notes in the books I was reading. If anything really resonated with me, it was always like, and even like writing my own experiences kind of in the pages of, the books I was reading. But one funny thing I did do is I did a daily newspaper for my block.
And what was going on? Is that like the Good Humor Man, the kickball game?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Whose birthday party it was, that kind of thing. I was like the only kid in fifth grade that was like walking around with a briefcase.
What do you think the parents were saying about you then?
I wonder, because I do, that it was one thing that was actually said to me. I walked into my friend's house and her mother said to me, Katie, you're the only kid I know that carries around a briefcase in the summer.
I love that. I love it. Talk about foreshadowing. So if you could go back and tell your younger self anything, any advice now that you know where you are now?
I think I would tell my younger self that to do a little less for others and a little more for me, and to, before anyone, thinks I'm thinking to be more selfish, I tend to be very giving and serving others before I do the things that I kind of want to do. And I think I needed a better balance with that. So I think that's what I would tell my younger self, to kind of balance it out a little bit better. Because if you tend to, if your happiness is stemming from other people's happiness and, what you're doing for other people, you're doing a disservice to yourself.
Absolutely. I have goosebumps all over my arms because I would say the foundation in everything that I do, there's a couple of, sort of guiding principles. And one is I really believe that our purpose work, everybody's purpose work on this planet, is to be the best version of themselves. And in order to do that, that's when you get to provide best for your family, for your friends, for your business. So time management is a lot to do with it, and self-care and love. So that you are getting to eat delicious food and visiting great restaurants. And I know you're a fitness fan.
Yes.
How do you balance that? Or do you need to be putting that a little bit more, into the mix?
I have to put it a little bit more into the mix. And in order to do so, I think I work best with doing lists and goals. So I came up with this little 10-10-10 goal for myself. I wanted to make sure that I was running 10 miles a week. So if I know I have to get to the gym, because I'm very busy and it's very hard when I'm working and then, running out to restaurants afterwards, it's kind of hard to get to the gym sometimes. So I wanted to push myself to go at least 3 to 4 times so I can get that 10 miles in. So it kind of started from that. So it's 10 miles a week. And then it's 10 minutes on the step machine every time I go. Okay. And then it's my 10-minute ab workout for 10 weeks.
Awesome. Have you started, or what week are you in?
I have started. I'm in week 1. I have 4.3 miles done already this week. So I'm going tonight, probably going tomorrow.
Do you blog about it? Are you putting that into your blog?
I should. You know what? I should. I really should, because I think it's an interesting balance between eating all this really great food. Yeah. And I'm starting to write a little bit more, include more recipes that are kind of spring vegetables, but also super healthy for you, because I think you need that kind of balance. But I really should start, including that. I have a lot of followers, believe it or not, on Facebook who have reached out to me on Facebook. Instead of liking my IntoxiKate page, they've actually liked my personal page. Mm-hmm. So there's definitely, little remnants, and the fitness kind of pops up there when I'm on a treadmill and I'm taking a picture of the screen and I'm like, yeah, I did this much today. So I'm excited.
Listen, I will tell you that when sometimes I see the food posts on your blog, I worry that just visually looking at it, my pants are getting tighter.
I did a feature in Westchester Magazine in February for breakfast. Mm-hmm. And, breakfast, you can't go out and eat a egg white omelet with vegetables every single place and write about it because no one finds that interesting. So of course I'm eating the waffles, I'm eating the pancakes, I'm eating the French toast, and I think I really gained 10 pounds alone on that story.
That's it. Well, so then I'm thinking that gym workout could possibly be a business expense.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like, let's
do that.
Let's talk to my accountant about that.
Exactly. I love that. So how would people find your food blog if they want to read about it? I know you're a little more local New York area, but how would they find you?
So it's IntoxiKate.com with a K, mm-hmm. to nod to my name, Kate. And then you can also follow me on Twitter, which is Kate Schlientz, mm-hmm. SCHLIENTZ. Mm-hmm. I'm on Instagram, IntoxiKate Foodie, mm-hmm. and also on Facebook, IntoxiKate, Living Life Deliciously.
Perfect. We'll put all those links below, next to wherever that goes on the the screen.
Thank you.
I love that. But so one thing that I want to do to sort of wrap things up, which, I so enjoy this. So I like to put a little bit spiritual side into things.
Love it.
I have my deck. So I was going to, I cleared it already, but I'm going to do another shuffle. And then I'm going to ask you to tell me when to stop and pick a card. And then I want to show it to you and I want you to tell me what first comes to mind when you see it.
You give me goosebumps every time we do this.
It's kind of fun. So I'm going to put it on out there and I'm going to run my fingers. You just tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Okay. So this is the card. And it's Guardian Angel.
Oh, she comes up a lot for me, huh?
Mm-hmm. So tell me what you're thinking when you first see that.
It's going to sound so silly, but I always think of you when I get this card.
Really?
Yes. Because I feel like there's so many people that I could mention because I do have a really great positive group around me, and I'm very, very blessed for that. But you are one of those people that every time I talk to, I just feel so calm. I just feel, like whatever the situation is, it's just, you always know the right thing to say.
Thank you. Thank you. I have to tell you, when I see that card, I think of you. I smile because I know that when we've pulled cards before, that always comes up. So I view it and think you are blessed and being watched. You have a lot of people around you that just want to really raise you up, which is, what I love.
I'm very, very thankful because I do have a great community of people, and I recognize every single one of them, and they're very much a part of IntoxiKate and in my life.
Mm-hmm. It's fantastic. So let's see how this goes. It's the first conversation. I know we're going to have more, but when I, stop recording and figure out how this all works, I can't wait to share this with everybody. So thank you so much.